Hello there, I'm Kris Oldland, editor of Field Service News. In manufacturing circles, the trend of servitization is gaining ever more traction. And of course, for servitization to be successful, you need excellent field service delivery and you need very strong customer-centric business principles. However, for some companies, adopting a servitization model isn't a huge step away from what they're actually doing just by delivering their standard business practices. One example of this is France-KLM, and one of the keynote speakers at the Aston Spring Servitization Conference was Harman Lanser from Air France, and he was kind enough to speak to us afterwards. Harman, you've just given a keynote presentation here at the Aston Spring Servitization Conference. Perhaps to begin, you could give our audience at home a bit of an understanding of what you were talking about.
Well, the thing is that what I wanted to explain is that we are doing a service for component availability, aircraft maintenance support, and an integrated service and for aircraft and components. And last year I was in a presentation where Tim Baines showed me the concept of servitization, and I realized that we were doing something similar to that, not knowing how close it was. Because before I knew the word, I realized I was doing something close to it, but was it the same? So what I've been going through the process last year, and that's what I wanted to present, is what was the process I was going through to go from component availability to total aircraft care to an integrated services for the airline KLM. And with my final question, is this something you can offer to customers? Because doing it for the airline you work for is something, doing it for an airline where you only do a service for, where you're not responsible for the end product of the airline, who is still responsible of buying the airplane, who is still responsible of being commercially successful, is different. And so what does it take to be able to give a completely integrated services product to a third-party customer? The trust you need, the reliability you need, and the dependency you create between the companies. And so I'm working on that business model at the moment, discussing it with some airlines to see if they would go that far. And currently I'm not sure that they will do that yet, although that we have proven that we can do it for the airlines that own us.
In the aerospace and airline industry in general, I'd imagine you've got a large number of different OEMs coming together, and essentially you're acting like a systems integrator in this instance. But is there a tension between different OEMs and yourselves, for example? Let's say Rolls-Royce, who offer their power by the hour package, and you coming in and trying to offer a similar solution?
It's similar, but we call them mono-product suppliers. They are not integrated. They deliver full engine support or full aircraft support. Boeing is with Gold Care, and Airbus with FHS. They are delivering full aircraft care. But nobody is delivering everything, and all the OEMs, Rockwell Collins, Honeywell, Goodrich, they are all delivering their product availability. They are not able to combine all the products together, and only an integrator, and the best an airline integrator, who has the experience and also the power, by the way, to get all these products. And if you discuss in the MRO conferences that everybody agrees that the airline MROs, like Air France-KLM, are the ones that have the power and the ability to integrate both the aircraft and the engine and all the components into one service product they can deliver to airlines. So yes, it's a tension because the OEMs want to prevent and protect their own areas, so sometimes they don't allow the use of their products. So part of my responsibilities is to discuss with these OEMs the ability and the license to be a certified provider of their product and services, so I can integrate the total and deliver that to the market.
This whole trend of servitization seems to me to be very fundamentally based around strong relationships, both with your customers and also your partner OEMs, etc. I mean, is it fundamental to the success that these relationships are in place? I mean, essentially, this isn't a short-term move, is this? Is this something that can be achieved within a time span of 3 years, or is it 5 years, 10 years, 15 years?
It's fundamental. First of all, it's completely fundamental. And you need at least, I would say, 10 years of working together with an airline to have this trust in each other that you can do it. For these kind of services, you at least contract 10 years. OEMs relationship, Air France, KLM is the oldest still existing airline in the world, 95 years. But the Air France-KLM is one of the oldest airlines as a group. And we have strong relations with all the OEMs over all the years. So it's yes, we are competitors and we are working together. As an airline, there's one big advantage, that as an airline you are entitled to have all the services from these OEMs, where an independent an OEM is not the obligation to support an independent, but an airline they have to support. So the combination of an airline and an airline MRO gives you the advantage of the access to the OEMs. There is a dependency relation, because they want to sell the products to the airline, and the MRO of the airline wants to sell it again. So there is a dependency which helps, and also for both it's interesting to have a long-term relation on that, because on the next aircraft you want to be serviced again. One of the things that we established is that for the 787, the newest aircraft in service now, Air France-KLM has secured 150 aircraft on the contract, which make them the biggest MRO in the world. And also that helps. The world is convinced that Air France-KLM can provide this service, so they offer the contracts, and all the OEMs recognize if you can support 150 aircraft, you are a very interesting customer for them. So that's how the balance is.
Okay. And Harman, as you've taken this to market, as you've spoken to a number of different airlines, how has there been what's the response been like? Has there been a warm acceptance to this approach, or has there been a bit of a pushback, because essentially you're treading a very new path here? It's a new business offering that people just aren't used to, and so are a little bit unsure of.
Yeah, there are. Everybody is interested. That's clear. Everybody says, "Hey, this is a model that sounds interesting." There are two problems. One is that legacy airlines that exist for a long time already have this operational maintenance organization in place. So there's a labor issue. If you would send those people away, that will be a labor issue. The second is that the influence on their operation is huge, and they want to control that as much as possible. So especially for that operational part, there's a lot of hesitation. There are some airlines that say, okay, we understand it, and yes, we want to do it because we want to be a sole operator of aircraft, and we don't want to have any maintenance organization anymore. And sometimes they say, but then you have to buy our maintenance organization, or to have to incorporate that. So yes, you can do it for us, but our people will be hired by you then.
Yes.
So we don't have to send people home. And others say, well, we don't have anything, we hire everything. Some of the airlines, like Ryanair and an EasyJet, they don't have a maintenance organization.
Yes.
They outsource everything. So for them, it's much easier to do. So.
That's a great point, actually. I suppose Ryanair, EasyJet, these are the perfect customers for you in this sense, I suppose, because they're already a servitized business, are they not?
Yes, they are. They would be the perfect customers. Yes, yes, that's true. The thing is that they currently they want to keep the control of their supply chain in hand. So they are not yet there. Although I've discussed it with them, they are not there yet to let that final control of the supply chain go. Because if you go to a servitization, you also trust them, the supply chain behind it.
Yes.
And yes, Ryanair and EasyJet are outsourcing everything, but they have a huge supply chain control organization, huge, but a very stringent supply chain organization that monitors every order, every movement of every piece part. And yeah, they are not yet there to entrust somebody else to do that as good as they can do it, they say.
And that's Harman Lanser there from Air France-KLM, speaking to us at the Aston Spring Servitization Conference. Now remember, if you want to stay ahead of all the latest trends in field service, make sure you subscribe to fieldservicenews.com. You'll find more videos, you'll find features and interviews with the leading thinkers in the industries, plus you'll also find a whole raft of resources including white papers, webinars, podcasts, ebooks and more. But for now, thanks for watching. My name's Kris Oldland, editor of Field Service News. We'll see you again soon. Take care.